Awkward people of Reddit, what stupid things have you said by accident? Today I was working with a high profile client and I intended to say, if you need anything else don't hesitate to let me know, but my brain was stuck on please let me know, so what I said was if you need anything else please hesitate to let me know. So I won't be surprised if I don't hear from him again anytime soon. This is hilarious and reminds me of a post I once read on Tumblr where her mom prematurely sent an email in the office. So instead of saying "Dear John, I'm afraid our meeting has been cancelled," she said, "Dear John, I'm afraid." Every few months I think of this post and laugh. It had me in tears the first time I read it. Yes, I think about that post all the time. Was at a wedding one time and saw this lady kissing a man for a photo. I said, "You guys are a beautiful couple." She looks at me in disgust and replies, "He is my uncle." Was it on the cheek or lips? How long were they holding the kiss for the photo? Was it a quick selfie or was it over 5 seconds? I'm trying to give them the benefit of the doubt, but they are making it very difficult. Lol, just a quick one for the picture. Nothing outrageous, just a little weird. No, that's weird. I don't where you're from, but kissing family on the lips for a picture is really f***ing weird. Yeah, I agree. I wouldn't do that again. Once was enough. In high school I told someone Merry Christmas and they replied that they were Jewish, so I cheerfully replied Happy Jewish then. It's been over 10 years and I still cringe at the thought. My junior year as a transfer student, so first year at a university with professors. I take my final exam before winter break. I go up and turn in my test. I hand it to my professor, Dr. Adamature, and wish him a Merry Christmas. He gives me an "oh brother" look and it only dawns on me as I make my way out the door what the heck I just said. It's been 30 years and every Christmas season I replay that scene in my head. Is this a Jewish last name? Is that why this is cringe? Yes. I don't think that's that bad. 99% of people will graciously accept any good wishes you send their way. Plus Christmas is a pretty secular occurrence in the Western world. I know Jews, Muslims, Hindus etc. who celebrate the cultural parts of Christmas. Radamature is not a Jewish last name. Well, he was 100% Jewish, so IDK. I said thank you to a vending machine once. I use teleconferencing every workday. The recorded voice says "Welcome to WebEx," to which I always reply "Thank you." I also say "Please" to my Google Home. In general I treat all technology that speaks to me as I would want to be treated. Smart. They will remember one day and we will both be spared. I worked in an office and there was a homeless guy outside that used to ask for cigarettes. I was walking up the street and saw him, so was practicing what to say in my head. It went like this. Him, give me a smile. Me, sorry I don't have any. Awkward guy here as well. A homeless man caught me off guard once and asked me for money and my response was no, I don't have any cash, thank you though. He proceeded to call me an asshole and follow me for the next 2 blocks for being an accidental smartass. Yeah, because I'm British and awkward, my go-to response is "Oh no thank you, but thank you, sorry, thanks, cheers, sorry." Well, you've got all your bases covered. That sounds like being Canadian, but way more intense in terms of being polite. It's weird. Half of us are super polite and mind our manners. The other half is trash. So European vacation was accurate? That is glorious. I'm gonna use that. Thanks to the entirely needless proximity of the TNG keys, I once signed off a very important email with the phrase "kind retards." Well, ones that I know of. Lol. I once went into my boss Microsoft Word autocorrect and made it change his name, Greg, to Grog. He sent out a ton of emails that ended with something like "sincerely, Grog," or began with "this is Grog." It took him a while to catch that. Yes, this. Once when I was younger, I set pretty much every 1-letter word in the English language to stupidly long words. That confused the hell out of my mother. Immunopathology loved this idea. Pretty much every one of both 1-letter words in English. So, one of them, I have spent too much time in other languages. There are 2 1-letter words in English, I and a. Stupidly bad phrasing on my part. Why? Oh, I C K8, URNT, MFG, I C, M8. But that ain't legalese. Stop it, I have hippopotamonstrosesquipedaliophobia. Look it up. I put an old collar from my cat on a stuffed tiger. The cat had long since passed away. We were doing a school play one day and I was the lion tamer, so I brought the tiger in with his collar. Some guy walked up to talk to me about how funny it was that my tame tiger had a collar, and what did I say? Thanks, I took it off of my dead cat. That ended that conversation right there. This reminds me of this time I was on holiday in a place where plastic surgery is super common. I was at a cafe and the waitress said, "OMG, I love your lips. Where did you get them done?" And I replied with, "Thanks. I grew them myself." I think that's actually just a really good reply. I once asked a widow at her husband's funeral if she was going to start dating soon. On funerals, I was once told the dress code was "bright and colorful." I was the only one who turned up in color. Bright pink. Edit. It was a funeral for a baby. At a more recent funeral of a young acquaintance, I got flummoxed when someone asked me how well I knew the person. I'd been asked to accompany my friend who knew them better. I said the words I was going to ask him to be in my band. I wish I'd known him better, but I'm really pleased to be here. My friend, that's not really the right thing to say, is it? Me, no, I'm sorry. I always manage funeral faux pas. The worst one perhaps is a time I tried to stop a funeral. Your friend sounds like a bit of a I don't think you were too awkward, at least for the second one, but either way, I don't think either occurrence is your fault. Thanks. I always feel so awkward in the pink funeral situation with stomach churning. It was actually the funeral of the baby of the aunt of the friend from the second story, who I was dating at the time. And he didn't take any color. So maybe he was a bit of a Realized I could have said it was the baby niece of my friend. Less confusing. Ah, I see. Still, I think your friend could've been a lot less condescending. An ex-friend of mine made me feel even worse and self-conscious about my mistakes. Also, I'm a bit awkward myself. Saying you too when the airport ticket scanner person tells me to have a nice flight. I worked at a movie theater, and I got so many you too's when I said enjoy your movie. After a while I stopped noticing it. I literally just did this yesterday. I said you too after she said enjoy your movie, followed by my stupid awkward laughter walking away. One thing I've learned over the last few years is to say thank you more often. It's usually a good response and never leads to an awkward interaction. It's also good to recognize yourself sometimes, but of course to keep being polite to others. Waiting in line to return some stuff at Home Depot. Plumbing associate comes up to get some returns. He's wrestling with some long pipes. So, I grabbed the other side and helped him load them onto his cart. Him, thank you, but you didn't need to do that. Me, I don't mind. It looked like you really could use another hand. As he was walking away I realized one of his arms was amputated at the elbow. MFW. I was once playing disc golf and a group of 20-year-old dudes were ahead of us, and we were waiting for them to drive. One kid had a real nice long drive and I almost said quite an arm on that kid, before realizing he had 1.5 arms. Glad I didn't get it out. Did he throw it with his stubby? Well done. His other hand was holding the joint. Your dog looks hot. The dog was clearly overheating, but the tone in which I said it sounded like I was asking to marry her dog. I always end up saying dumb shit like this, and I always get annoyed that I have a very British native accent. I think if I sounded more foreign people would just think my English isn't so good rather than that I'm a pervert. For all Brits, Americans love your accent. Instantly adds attractiveness, no matter what you look like. If you're British and struggling to meet and so, come to America. Oh, yeah, hit me up with that Glaswegian accent. It's funny you say that, because I've considered going to America a few times to see if the British accent thing is true or not, among other things. I always heard that it's not as big of an attraction as people make it out to be. I kinda like some American accents too, so maybe it could work out. It's pretty big. Looks like I need a passport. Yo, this is People definitely care more about looks than the voicer barks. A Brit with shallow American backstabbers friends. In my native language we have this insult for friends to joke around that goes like take it on your neck. Now I was laughing cause a French friend said some joke at a bar and told him this in French. The whole table went silent. I excused myself, went home, never told jokes since then. Is your native language Afrikaans? Because that language has some of the most creative curses and insults. I said, Castoilanukavakanabite, which was like a death threat I guess, but in my native tongue it's really a stupid slash silly way to say f off slash your bastard slash you. etc. when someone close to you, a friend not your dad, makes you laugh.